So let's see if it works. A new set. I think it does. I think everything is running, so let's see if I can... Yeah, the stream is running as well. Let's copy the URL. Where is the URL? And I even have to get used to this keyboard here. And yeah, there we are. I can see myself. Okay, control, copy. And let's share this. I hope everything is alright. We'll see in a couple of seconds if anyone is watching already. And we're live with the brand new set. Exclamation mark. Join the show and chat along. Control V. Let's see if it works. Yep. I think it does. Oh, number 22 is the correct number. Otherwise I have to change that. Let me look at the videos. So I have to get used to this new set, so give me a couple of seconds. I've been preparing for the last 5 hours I think, but still hope new stuff here. Lots of new. Alright, copy to the groups and my Facebook group and the Dutch group, so everyone knows. It's not the newest laptop, so it's a bit slow, although it got Core i5 CPU, so still don't know why it is this slow, but anyway, it's not the newest one, so give me a couple of secs and I will get to the chat. Man, it's slow. I think I need to replace this laptop, but we're almost there. Alright, and we're live. Yep. And yep. Oh, where is it? Oh. Control V. And post. And another post here. Yes, publish. And Dutch. And publish. I think it's complete now. Right. Please let me know if the audio is okay, because if it's not okay, then I can do some last minute changes, of course. Let me see if anyone is... Yeah, there are a couple of people there. Let me see if the text in the description is alright. Oh man, it's very complete. So that will work. And let's give the visitors a couple of seconds to join the chat. So people are coming in. Good evening, I will say that in the chat. And okay, it looks quite alright. I think the quality of the feed is hopefully not too bad. It's bad here, I don't know why, but I think that's just the laptop. So alright. Okay, everything seems to be working. I'm still waiting for first people to come in and say something, so I know that everything works. I think the colors are nice with this new studio light. So let's see if I'm not forgetting anything. No, that's okay. I think I can remove this. It's hard to tell if the stream is completely working at the moment, because it's very quiet. I hope it's not an issue with new settings. Why is it so quiet, man? Sorry. That's picking up audio as well. I didn't know that. Cool. Learned something. Hey, Tony, good evening. And Hans, okay, there we go. So I think people are getting in. David, good evening. So what happened, guys? Why did it took 5 minutes for you to say something? Was it the settings here? Was it the server? I don't know. Because I'm still using the same PC. But anyway, let's kick off the show. And I have brand new things here, so I hope everything goes as planned. Let me just share the links, so that's okay. Yeah, okay, I can close this window, and now I can run the intro. I hope you like it. Yeah, there it is. Brand new. So, did you like the new intro? Let me know, please. Spend, I think 15 minutes on it. It's not that hard to make. But it was a lot of fun, if you ask me. So, good evening, goedenavond, guten Abend, hola, hello and welcome. So again, if like always, if you have anything to ask me, then please do. I will answer every question until a certain level, of course. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. And I still have to do the ZX HD giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers. At the moment, we are at 1,100, so still new subscribers. As you can see, this is a totally new set. I've got this new desk here. I got some special lighting equipment. I hope this is enough. I think it is, because I look very bright if you see myself with my PC monitor. I've got some new scenes set in OBS, and as you can see here, this desk is for live demos and then other things. And I really would like to replace the Samsung TV with some nostalgic television or monitor, like the 1084S, for example, which was used for Amigas mostly, or maybe the black one for the MSX series. And of course, they were all the same model from Philips, but it's really not easy to obtain one for a decent price, because they seem to go for at least 75 euros if you can find one. And of course, one of the issues is that if you can find one, then mostly you have to pick them up. And if there's only one or two of it in a week, then it's hard to find one that is nearby. So I think I have to just continue that search, and I think it will look lovely here on this desk once I find one. Jen, good evening. Nice to see you. We'll talk about your developments in a second. For at least something about the emulation of the MBO3. I hope I'm not missing any chats. Sorry if I do, because it's getting more crowded by the second. Right. Oh, and maybe I should get a better microphone, because this may sound a bit hollow. I don't know. But the issue is there is a lot of garbage sold in China with the microphones you can pin here. So if I want a decent one, I think I have to get one from a well-known Dutch shop, and I've seen there a couple for about 50 euros, so that's not the most expensive thing. But if you think it would improve the show, then please let me know, and I will Order 1. Alright. Tonight's topics. Well, I got a couple of topic things to feature because it's always good to know why things are delayed and so. And it's not only because of off-topic things, but there are more reasons for that. The news bites. Well, what are the news bites for this week? Of course, we cannot ignore Bandersnatch, of course. We'll talk about that. It's really, really awesome that that movie has come out, and with all the features and the shops even. We'll talk about a bit about the sales that are still increasing and what I have to do to keep up with the work and improve efficiency. I want to talk about the guy who is in the chat, about Joseph from the Northwest Computer Museum in a second. Really nice, he's also online. And then the topics of this week, I got a nostalgic snack. I will not eat it right now because I wouldn't bore you with that. And I thought, well, it's 2019, the first show. The last one was a month ago, so that's my bad. And I thought to do just a small, short recap of 2018. Lots of things have changed for me personally, and I think also for everyone who's interested in new hardware, of course, if you can see it from that perspective. And some preview of what I have in my mind and planned for this year. Just high over. I'm not going into details that much, but I have a couple of things maybe that I can share with you. Okay, we'll talk about what I just announced about Real Spectrum. Emulation. We'll go into that in a couple of minutes. And some new items that will come in the web shop. I have something that I think is very special here, and I will do a live assembly of this tactile keyboard for the ZX Spectrum Plus case, which I was looking for, and Peter helped me out from ZX Renew. And then we will go to discuss what we'll do next week. So let's get into the first topic, which is, oh, sorry for the sounds in the back. What kept me busy, and that is another small roll here. It's fast, look at that. Don't have to wait that long. So, okay, the school holidays are over, so the kids are at school again, which, oh, it's the light again. I have to do something with the lights here, you know. Anyway, if I wave, then we'll come on again. So I have some more time finally and can focus again during the days and even nights when the kids are in bed. And I created some new house rules, and that's they are 8 and 12 years old. So I told them that during the school week they have to go to bed at 9 o'clock or earlier. So what we decided is at 8 o'clock everyone will go to the living room. So after the show we'll go there as well. We'll share the snack. And then at 9 o'clock the kids go to bed, and I have some more time. Other things that can be busy. The kids come in with lots of stuff. Like there's some small LED lights there to fix. I'm the guy in house that fixes everything, it seems. And sometimes I think they are doing it on purpose, so they're breaking stuff for me to fix. But it's really more and more work. So I think there's not one day that passes without me fixing something. So they come up here and then they throw it on my desk and ask gently if I can fix it. And even my wife does it. So I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe because I have all the tools here. I don't know. Anyway, that's what's keeping me busy sometimes. But I try to focus on the work here, of course. Hey, good evening, everyone. More people are coming in. Right, back to the program. I cannot see anything at once. And one of the problems with this laptop is that it's got a very low resolution display, so that's not the best, of course. But anyway, I was a bit enthusiastic about something I really want to do a week ago, and I put it on Facebook. And I want to be more agile when it comes to my work. With my last job that I quit over half a year ago, I was a Scrum Master for I think 4 years, about 4 years. I think I was becoming very good in it, but the problem was that the company wasn't completely up tempo. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. And I was a bit discouraged by some people. But anyway, that was one reason. We'll go into details when I will go through the year in a couple of minutes. But anyway, I really liked working with Scrum teams, and I was a Scrum Master and a trainer for people who wanted to know more about Scrum. And of course, there are other agile methods like Kanban and other things. But I really like Scrum because Scrum makes you work in a time box and helps you to make a realistic plan of what you can do with your team. But Scrum is really for teams from at least 6 people, 6 to 9 people, and I don't think, and of course people made it clear to me on Facebook as well that it's something I can do in my own. But I think it's good to investigate what pieces I can use from Scrum here at ByteDelight headquarters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some time to specifically think of that, what methods I can use to improve it, because I've been promising lots of new hardware for a couple of months now, and there are still some things here stored that people are waiting for, even repaired machines that are just waiting, because it's ridiculous with the amount of work that's coming in. I will try to improve my way of working, and at the moment I'm even I have the feeling that I'm becoming more motivated by the day. So that's not a problem. But the other problem is, can some agile methodology help me improving my amount of work that I can do in a week or in 2 weeks? It depends on the iteration length I choose. But we'll see. Alright, so that's about the off-topic things, although agile methods is of course not really off-topics if you want to use it in your own work. So let's get over to the news bites, and that was previously called Bits, News Bits, but I think it's a ByteDelight show, dus let's make it Bytes. There it is. Maybe the videos are a bit long, I don't know. Let me know if you think these are too long, because I can of course play them at high speed if I want to. But still I like the new intro videos for the topics. Alright, so believe it or not, I was talking to my kids, I think 2 weeks ago or something, about Netflix sending me an email with one of the new releases about an interactive movie, and I was just interested in the movie because it was in the Black Mirror series, and I really like the Black Mirror series. There are 4 seasons of them, and every episode is really a thriller on its own. It's really well made, and the impact when you watch one of the episodes of Black Mirror is so big that you can think about every episode for days. So if you want to see something you will never forget, then watch the Black Mirror episodes. Some are really creepy. But anyway, I really like them, and there was a new one, and that was the first interactive movie. And the thing is that our main television downstairs, it's a modern TV, but it's a couple of years old, but it doesn't have, it has Netflix, but it doesn't have the support for interactive movies from Netflix. So I had to watch it on, for example, my computer here. so I was talking to the kids about it, and I said, well, I want to watch that movie, but I cannot watch it downstairs. And I didn't know that it turned out to be the biggest Netflix release of Black Mirror. There are millions of people watching it with great reviews, and it's filled with ZX Spectrums, and it's really about a ZX Spectrum programmer. So that surprised me the most, you can imagine. The film is called Bandersnatch. So it's an interactive movie, and you can it's really funny made. Some scenes you think you can choose between two breakfasts, and that doesn't seem like much, but the cool thing is that once you made a choice, later in the movie you can see some shots again that are in the line of your choice you made, which is really cool. And even there are a couple of storylines, depending on your choices, that can only be seen when you do the correct choices. So try it out. If you don't have Netflix, this is your reason to get a subscription, because you can, if you want to, you can take a Netflix subscription for a month, and you can see this awesome movie Bandersnatch with ZX Spectrums. And let me see if I. Oh, well, one of the cool things. I chose wrongly right at the beginning, and the movie ended within 10 minutes. So you have to get back to that scene again and make the other choice. That was cool. And there are a couple of videos on YouTube if you want to watch them, but they're really spoilers, so you have to try it for yourself first. But they explain all the storylines that are possible, so it's really, really cool to watch the movie. Right, and it doesn't end there, because I really hate that I'm not in the UK, but I'm in Holland, and that's because I can show you here. Let me see if it works. Oh yeah, it works, man. All the new scenes, I love them. In London, there is one of the fake shops. It's not a real shop, but it's made for the movie. And in Birmingham, there's a similar one where you can see some lots of items shown in the movie as well. And it's so cool that this happened. And even they did a signature session last week, I think on Monday, or was it this week? This week maybe, I don't know. In one of the shops, I think the one in Birmingham. So really, really cool. I really wish I could just jump over and or fly over, and well, I wish I could be in there, of course, but who doesn't? So I've seen lots of photos of people clicking, lots of photos of these shops for people who visited them, because you cannot go in, but although only for the signature session, of course. But anyway, really, really nice that they did it, and maybe it's not the final thing about the Bandersnatch movie, because there are some Easter eggs and that seem to point to upcoming things within the Black Mirror series. So we'll see if that was the last we see about Bandersnatch and the ZX Spectrums and development companies, Microsoft and that sort of thing. Really, really nice. So that was the biggest news of the last 2 weeks, I guess. I think the movie was released just before the new year, so I was late, because I saw some people talking about the movie, and I thought, what the hell was everyone talking about this movie, you know? So my bad. That's what you get if you're not paying attention. Right. So I was talking about trying to increase efficiency by, for example, working in an improved way, you can call it that. That's because the sales are still increasing. I get more and more orders each day, and I think I've come to a point that I cannot keep up with the orders by doing them manually. So I really need to create time, and I'm talking only about production for the orders, not about development. But I should create time to improve the production efficiency by using the pick and place machine here on my on your right behind me. This is cool, by the way. I received this enormous reel of tactile switches from China, of course. Oh, why, of course, because you can order them in Holland as well. But I just ordered these switches because they were inexpensive, and they always work, and I have had problems with these. And the guys sent me this reel, but it doesn't fit in my pick and place machine, so it's too big for that. So that's a bummer. Anyway, I don't need them for the pick and place machine, by the way. I didn't think of using the pick and place machine for the tactile switches. I think I will just put them on manually, or maybe use the through-hole version of the switches in the future, because that's a better way of the next step after pick and place and the oven, do some through-hole components. But we'll see. Anyway, just cool to see such a big reel. But what I did is I made some products unavailable, like the rainbow LED kits here, or the complete machines. I even offer them now with, for example, Harkin board or something else people like. And I have to do that because producing these is kind of disruptive when you're trying to do the interfaces that I can do in series. So I do interfaces by 5 or 10 at a time, and these ones cost about an hour to craft, and that's, you can compare the same time is needed for example, the dual flop drive sets. I think I can do 2 in an hour or something of those, but it's still those products are still kind of disruptive, because I have to get into another mindset. I have to do hard work, you know, with my arms and hands, and it's completely different than just soldering. So I made some of those products unavailable from January 1, and I think I hope I can make them available again in a couple of weeks. But I'm not completely sure when I will do that, because it will take much time to get the pick and place machine running, and I think I need to do that first. So it may not take a couple of weeks, but it may take a couple of months. I don't know. I have to see. But I think it's a good decision to do that, because otherwise I cannot offer all the products. You know, I will get very crazy. And maybe I should get employees. I don't know. Last week I picked up some PC hardware from someone in one of the areas here in Eindhoven, where you can hire some offices very cheaply, and it's meant for startups, for people with small companies that cannot work from home, because, for example, they need some space for storing stuff, or they need space for equipment or other things, and you can rent offices, small offices, very cheaply there. Those are the factories that are renovated for office space. The factories were the factories from the light bulbs from Philips in the past. So you can rent space there, and I was thinking about it, I think a year ago, before I decided to put the dormers on here. And now I was able to speak with someone who works in one of those offices, and I think he convinced me that it's an option. So if I need more space, and I might think of employees or something like that, then I could consider moving to one of those offices. But that will have a couple of downsides, like not being able to be with the family all the time, and paying more money for space, and I'm not sure if I want that. So I have to think of that a lot, and I don't think I will do that anytime soon. So we'll see. Okay, the next news is the Northwest Computer Museum, and let me share my screen again and open this link here, so you can see the website of the museum, which is about to be updated because there's news. And I was just talking to Joseph, and he gave me a scoop. Sorry. He was telling me, let me get back to the main screen here. He was telling me that the website doesn't have an address. I was searching for the address because I wanted to share it with you guys. But it doesn't have an address because just today they have signed an agreement to get to Wigan. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And they have found a unit that they can move the museum to, and it will be in the Galleries Shopping Centre in Wigan. Is it Wigan or Wigan? Let me know. I hope it's Wigan. I can try to see what Google Translate says if I type it in here. Google Translate. I will type in Wigan. Let's see what it says. Wigan. Wigan. Okay, it's just Wigan. Okay, Wigan. Anyway, so it's Wigan. And let's see. Yeah, so they're moving there. I think very soon. Come on, give me some light. It will come back. It will. Yes, thank you. And Joseph told me he's one step closer, or they're one step closer to a permanent museum. So I met Joseph, I think a year ago, or less than a year ago. I think it was in September, wasn't it, Joseph? Because he was helping out Bart van den Akker with the Home Computer Museum in Helmond. And I spent some time as well there to help them out. I think 2 days or something, because I wish I had more time to help them out, but you know, I'm very busy as well. But it's very nice that are coming more of these museums. And of course there are a couple of more, but this one is at the west coast of in the UK, if I remember correctly. I think I saw a map somewhere. I don't know when I looked it up. But it's very nice that he's doing that. Oh, in March they're going to move. Okay. Thank you, Joseph, for the clearance. All right, so and I still have to get to Cambridge again with my kids, because I promised them to fly over to Cambridge. But it's very hard to find a day that I can take them there, because it's only cheap when you fly during the week, and finding a day throughout the week when they are both free from school is almost impossible nowadays. But I really would like to go there again, and for a museum, and for the hamburger restaurant around the corner there, over the bridge. But we'll see. I really live in the wrong country. Anyway, that's about the news for this week. If you guys have more news, then please let me know. I will try to keep an eye on what's happening on Facebook and other channels. And I really like it. Oh, maybe some other news, of course, but it's not retro. It is the CES event in Las Vegas. I really like the new hardware as well, as you may know. And I watch all of the videos from Linus Tech Tips and Gamers Nexus and Jay's 2 Cents and other channels that are all present at the CES at the moment. I think it ended today, I'm not sure. So a lot of new technology that interests me as well. But it's off topic, so let's get back to topics, and let's get to the next chapter of the show. Right, this week's topics. My wife thought I looked funny on that photo, so and a pixelated photo, of course. So I told her I looked like a clown. But anyway, maybe I'm the clown in this house here. I don't know. Talking about new things. The new light. I think it's really nice. It's a 50 watt bulb. I'm not sure what it's called. But it gives a nice sun-like light. Is that English? Sun-like light. Anyway, I think it looks great on the camera, and I hope one is enough. The only issue is that it reflects a lot in the Sinclair QL box, as you can see there, and I think I decorated it quite nicely with all the posters and other things in my box of Sinclair User and other magazines with the tapes. The tapes are in the box, so I have a box full of ZX Spectrum magazines with the original cover tapes, which I really enjoy, and I hope to put it here somewhere because I want to get a feeling that I'm walking into a bookstore in the past and where you could buy the magazine with the cover tapes. And there are really interesting videos about cover tapes and cover tape wars as well on YouTube, if you are interested in that, specifically about Crash and your Sinclair and Sinclair User, of course. Anyway, let's get to this week's topics. So I was talking about the nostalgic snack, and this was one of them. And it was coincidence because I wasn't looking for them, but I visited a shop and they were selling these. These are rice crispy cookies with chocolate, and I had them when I think I was 10 or 11 or something like that, and I really like them. And this is unopened, as you can see. So I will share this with my kids when I get down after the show. If you know them, please let me know, because I'm not sure if they're well known worldwide, but I'm curious. So I promised a short recap of last year, and I'm not going to get emotional or something about it, but I think I can tell you what happened last year in a couple of seconds, minutes. I'm not sure, 2 minutes maybe. If I go on like this, that it will take 5 minutes maybe. I'm not doing that on purpose, but I'm just my mind always goes always, you know. That's my issue. That's what you get with an artist like me. Last year started with asking for the permits for installing the dormers, and those were installed in March, I think, March or April. And I was preparing for that for over a year because I never did any work in the house by a company like this before. And we're living here for 15 years already, so this was the first big job, and I got a company friend of mine who does this work with his son even. So they worked here for I think a week or 1 week and a half, because it was bad weather. And it was in January, was it in January? I think it was in January, yeah. It was cold, I remember. So the roof was off, and it was really cold. It was freezing, man. So it wasn't the best timing, maybe. And they were standing on the roof, was freezing outside. So they were cold by themselves as well. But fortunately nothing bad happened, and they just got the job finished very decently. Including the air conditioning, of course. So that was the first thing last year, and for some reason I still don't know how I did that. I wanted to expand the space here, but I wasn't working on ByteDelight full time. So I really wonder why I did decide to get a dormers first before doing this full time. Anyway, I just did it. I'm not sure why in that sequence, but I've been working at a utility company for 17 years, and throughout the last 2 years, about that, I was talking about it when we were discussing the agile topic. It was becoming a chaos, and that's because like in many companies these days, IT departments or IT companies, the biggest issue is that people still tended to run projects by I want to say old methods, but by how to call it? Yeah, you know what I mean. By methods that are that would work with teams and projects that are completely separate from the rest of the company. But these days, all IT systems are connected to each other, and you cannot change anything on a system without giving it an impact to the connected systems. So that's one of the biggest challenges these days, and that's really the reason that you have to work with very short iterations when you're changing something and you have to um, communicate with the other teams or developers that work with the other systems very closely. So that's really the reason to work with agile teams, Scrum teams. And there are a couple of other reasons, because you cannot do a project for 2 years and start and do a deep dive um, and try to deliver something after 2 years and see the whole world has changed. That's what happens with IT companies or departments in other companies, and also happened to the company where I worked. And I really was discouraged by the chaos that came to life during the last years I worked there. And what I wrote down is I couldn't find my own way there anymore. I was trying to support teams with a way of working, as a Scrum way of working, to help them out and find the way to be able to finish projects. And I'm not against projects. That's not that issue. But I don't think that you can do a project without doing short iterations and communicating with the other teams. That's what I think, and that's just the truth from nowadays, I think. So there was a big chaos, and that's not only because it was my point of view, but it was really chaos. A lot of bad things happened there. Of course, a couple of good wins as well. The newest CIO we got was someone that was able to get things straightened again. But the previous one I also had good contact with, and I really hated that the things happened as they did. I'm not going to go into details because I'm not allowed to. But I was offered a settlement agreement when I got a new manager last April, I think. And I signed it almost immediately because it was really almost too good to be true, but it was true. It's one of the things that was as good as true as it seemed. And I even got someone. I'm not sure what's called in English. Jurist. What's jurist in English? Let me see. A lawyer. Okay, simple as that. A lawyer. I had a lawyer look at the contract, the settlement agreement, and it was really that good. So after I signed it, and my CIO signed it, I didn't have the obligation to get to the office anymore, and that gave me the time to get ByteDelight up and running, which I'm still doing because I'm not finished yet getting it to the tempo that we need here. But of course, the settlement agreement is specifically meant for people that want with their company. So it's an agreement with both the employee and the employer to get some time and funds, you can say, to find a new job, which I already had, as you know. And it wasn't a secret that I was doing this next to my IT job, but I wasn't planning on doing this full time back then. So it was really really nice that maybe it was the best time to get that settlement agreement. I'm not sure because I had a feeling that it could have been 2 years ago, 2 years earlier. Anyway, that's about that. So that's completely finished now. I'm not an employee anymore there. And I really wonder how my colleagues are doing, my ex-colleagues of course, and some of them are on my Facebook friends list, so they sometimes reply to topics, but I don't know what's happening inside the company, and I'm curious sometimes, but well, it's not my company anymore, you know, so I can sleep without worrying, but it's just that I hope things are getting better, and the agile way of working is finding its place there, and people can live with that and really can produce software and systems and all that sort of thing, results. That's what I'm looking for. So one other thing last year was I started with the ByteDelight weekly shows. This is the 22nd episode, I think, and I've not been doing them weekly. I wish I could. But sometimes I just can't because of the amount of work and other things. And in December I ordered a pick and place machine after spending some time in selecting the one that suits me the most. So I decided for the TVM 802A. Is it A? What A is it? I think it's A. Anyway. And for this year I'm planning to get the pick and place machine working, including the oven, which is over there. It's a small oven, but it's big enough and it's doing its work. It just needs to get a kit that will convert the standard infrared oven to one that follows a specific crucial temperature graph, so the parts will not be damaged but will be soldered at the correct temperature. So that's what the oven will do in the future. So we have to do that. I have to do the pick and place machine. We've got a new set for the ByteDelight weekly show, so this will make it a bit more easy for me to finish the week and sit here and talk with you guys. And other things. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of one employee, but that will not be an external one. It most probably will be my wife. That will help me kind of full time in the future, because we're talking about that she may quit her current job and work and help me out here. So then she will be the first employee number one. Come on, give me light. Maybe I should dance or something. I don't know. Okay, next topic of this week. I think, oh, maybe it should have been in the news. I'm not sure. It's about development of one of the well-known. I think it's well-known emulators of the past. Maybe. Let me share it with you. So this is the new Real Spectrum homepage, because the old one was just the bbk.org URL, but this one is the new one. And the last update was, I think, oh, here it is, 2006, when Real Spectrum 14B was released. And Real Spectrum is an emulator for Windows or MS-DOS, and it really runs well in MS-DOS, because you can even use direct floppy access, which is great if you want to use real floppy disks with an emulator like this. Got all kinds of versions, AMD and Pentium separately, and some other versions here. And one of the cool things, as I said, is the real disk support for example, the Disciple disk interface or the Plus D, but even for the MBO2 interface from Jan Kusira from the 8-bit company, who is online, I think, still. And I even wrote an article once about the MBO2 emulation for Real Spectrum. Here are some pictures, I think, underneath. And I was really impressed by being able to run Real Spectrum on I think it was a Pentium 2 or something back then, with 2 flop drives, and I could use them with real floppies. So I had a feeling that I was really using a ZX Spectrum with that MBO2 interface for a fraction of the cost of an MBO2 interface. So that was just great, you know. But there's news, and by the way, I think this was one of the first emulators in 1999, and the date was here, 9 September 1999. The world's first Spectrum emulator capable of 100% exact content memory and multicolor emulation. So it was, I think, the first emulator that was able to, for example, show the Shock Mega Demo with all the beautiful colors on a PC completely correctly as it should be. So that was just awesome. But the news, I'm keeping you waiting, am I not? Neil, yes, I can start from the beginning again, but my kids and my wife will get mad. You can just click on the beginning of the time. How is it called? Or you can just rewind. Anyway, so the news. The news is there will be a new version of Real Spectrum. There's currently one or more developers working on a new version of Real Spectrum with MBO3 support. So that's the new interface that Jan Kusira is working on. And the new, let me just zoom in, the new MBO3 interface will be built around the FPGA chip, which is much more flexible and can be obtained at this moment, whereas the MBO2 interface used some discontinued parts like the floppy chip, floppy interface, floppy controller, and the DMA chip, for example. And Jan has managed to put all of that functionality in the FPGA chip, so that's really nice. And I'm following his work closely because I think he's almost done with the current design, so I really hope we will hear about it very soon. And of course I will try to keep you updated with that information. Right, the next topic, which is also more of a news item I think, is that I'm offering the white cases for, let me get some here. The white cases for example, the ZX HD and this one here. Stay. I hope you can see it. And the Pro 1 interface here. So people are asking more and more for the white cases for these, because of course you can get the replica cases now with the white case, and for example the rainbow LED case uses the white cases by default as well, and I can also make them in transparent case and all kinds of, and even planning on making a pink one because people were asking me about it. But anyway, the cases are available in white as well, and I will list them in the web shop as soon as possible. I even did a poll on Facebook to ask people why people love the white ZX Spectrum case. Is it just because white is cool, or is it because Sir Clive Sinclair has one white ZX Spectrum, which was the millionth ZX Spectrum back then? Which by the way you can see on YouTube. He's talking about it and has the white machine with him, but I think the video is from maybe over 10 years ago, I'm not sure. Okay, so white cases will be available in the web shop because people are asking more and more. There was even someone who asked me if he could spray paint the case himself, so I told him that's not necessary, I can do that for him for the same price, that's not a problem. Oh yeah, cookies, you can see here, I've got new cookies. So if you order something and I think of the cookies, sometimes I forget, then I will add them to the package. And if you didn't have, your package didn't include one of the cookies, then sorry, and you just have to order something else and remind me of the cookies then. Alright, the final topic for today is this keyboard here. And I think I can do a close-up because I have a second camera, and I bought this last week for specifically this purpose. Let me zoom in here. I hope this works. Yeah, look at that. So this is a tactile keyboard specifically made for the ZX Spectrum Plus. I have it upside down, so let me put it just this way. And I was hoping that it would focus, please. I said out of focus, so I'm not sure why it's not focusing. But these keyboards were already available for the rubber ZX Spectrum case, but now they're also available for the Plus cases. And I really am interested in what the feel of these is, because I was impressed by the one for the rubber cases that you really have a good feeling of clicking on a tactile key, with the rubber keys of course, but I'm not sure if the same can be said for the Plus case. So what I wanted to do is show you that here live on the show. Alright, okay, so there will be another emulator. Jan is just chatting about the real Spectrum updates, but there's no answer from the original developers. But anyway, we'll talk about updates from that when there's more information available. Right, so what I want to show you guys is how to assemble this, because I have no clue myself yet. and then see how it feels. And maybe, I'm not sure if I can show you how it feels by doing this, but I think we can try, of course, why not? So, I have my screwdriver somewhere here, yeah. I picked this ZX Spectrum, which is working. As you can see, the keyboard is not connected because I already got it disconnected for this. And I see I don't have enough space here. So let me just move something out of the way. And I really don't know how much work this is. So I think I'm again going to zoom in on the disc in some way, so you can see what I'm doing. Let me see if this works. And zoom. Alright, I think this is quite nice, isn't it? Alright, so let's get this brand new membrane out of the top shell. Oh, this one stuck. Why is it so stuck? Oh, I see. I think this has been repaired. So if you screw these too tight, then you can damage the screw holders, which is bad. So I really wonder how to attach the tactile keyboard and what parts I will have to keep in the top shell and what not. Good evening, Peter. I was just talking about you because I'm doing the assembly of the tactile keyboard you sent me. Oh, and you may wonder why, if you've been thinking about it, these are not listed on Peter's websites. Well, that's because they used to be listed on Sell My Retro, but the guy who's making them currently is on a vacation or something, and he will be back with more. But Peter had one in stock and sold me his, so I could do this. Well, I was just talking about the dual floppy drive sets. They will be back, but I'm not sure when, because I really want to get the pick and place machine up and running first. So I really hope people understand that I had to do that, because otherwise I will never have time to do anything new, which I think is important. Alright, so I have some spacers here, as you can see, and washers. And I think these are needed, I'm not sure, but I think these are needed to create some distance between this board and the case, the top shell, but I'm not sure, because oh, look, can you hear this? Oh, you cannot. The camera doesn't have the audio, I see. No, didn't enable audio of this camera. But if we're silent, maybe you can hear it. You can really hear the click. And because there's, of course, the rubber mat in between, I think this will feel very nicely. But I'm not sure if I need the spacers. Do I need the spacers? Peter, do you know if I need the spacers? Because this seems to work. So, do I need the spacers? Is it because the screws will go in too much? I don't know. Oh man, it does feel good, but I'm not sure. The keys don't go in as much as with the original keyboard, so maybe it's good to just add the spacers, but it will be hard because they won't stay in place, I think. Not sure what to do. I don't think the screws are too long, because these are not the longest screws. So we'll just try with screws this way and see if we get any nice result here. So who of you got the tactile keyboard for the rubber Spectrum case? Any of you got one? I can imagine Neil got one, but I'm not sure. Someone at Marson brought one a couple of months ago. So I screwed in only 3 screws, and I think it's already enough to test it out. But I'm getting messages here on Facebook, I guess. And you cannot use the back plate, of course. So because the board itself is big already. Let's see. What am I getting from Facebook? Oh, there goes the light again. Come on, light. Give me light. Anyway, we don't need it at the moment. We just go on here. I want to test this because I'm really curious. Okay, there are some ribbon cables attached to the board, and I ordered this already assembled. I thought it was coming in as a kit, but it was already assembled, so that saved me some time, of course. I also have another set with LEDs in it, but it's for a rubber spectrum, I think. So I will have to assemble that still when I find time. Okay, so I've not yet screwed in all the screws, but there are only 2 left, and I think this is for now way good enough. So let me get to the spectrum itself, and I'm wondering how the ribbon cables, if they will get into the case easily enough, because I think these are hard cores. Yes, they are, but it's the same. I don't know if anyone has ever opened for example, a Sinclair QL, and Sinclair decided to use similar cables for the microdrive cables, so the internal microdrives, and it's really a pain in the ass of getting those into the board. So I hope this will go a little more easy than that, but I don't think so. It's really hard. Oh man. I hope this works. Let's see how tiny the pins are. They're very fragile, so. No. Do you have to solder them then, maybe? Let me do it. Move this camera a bit here. I have no idea if this is possible, what I'm trying to do here. Oh wait, I have an idea. Yeah, of course. What I can do is, I have the small boards. I ordered those. I just haven't used them, but it's really the best option here. Let me get them. So I got those small boards here. Where did I leave those? Let me check. Oh, I don't know where I left them. Not here. Where did I leave those? It's one of the ongoing projects, and I think they're on one of the crates here. Yeah. Yeah, I have those connectors as well. Did you send me those? I don't know. Were they included with the other kit then, maybe? Oh, of course. This one. So they're included with this kit as well. But I've made them myself as well, and I received them already. I just don't know where they are. But for now, we'll use the ones from the other kit you sent me, because that is the way to go. The only thing is that I need to move to my soldering station for a bit. Here they are. Well, it's still completely live here, but I'm going to. Oh, let me put this button. Does it work? Yes. All right. Let me get out the connectors out first. And let me first show you what I'm doing here. So they're so tiny, man. Double-sided. Why are they double-sided? I don't know. So these are the tiny connectors here. It's still not focusing, as you can see. Sorry for that. Don't know why. I have to check. And I'm going to solder them on the connectors first. Oh. Sorry. Hope everything is still running. Right. This will only take a second. This is what I do now. Soldering stuff. I think I have to well, put it here for now. I want to be here for only a couple of seconds because I want to continue the show. And let me see how we will do this. I think I will just pre-solder one pin here. Yes, that's one. And one there. That's one. And that's the other one. Yes. Okay, now the other pins, and then we're ready. That will work. Oh, that's easy. I can do that. Oops. The connector. Almost done. Just a couple more. Sound like a dentist, don't I? Just a couple of more holes and then you're done. That's why I always take music, trance music with me to the dentist nowadays. So I don't need to hear what they sing to me. I just leave them at what they're doing and sit still, and when they're ready they poke me and I put off my headphones, and that's the way I go to the dentist nowadays. Because I just hate them. Right. So, I'm back. Hey, good evening from Bottrop, from Germany. Let me see if they're all connected correctly. I think so. And this is a lot easier. Ah, it's still thick, but anyway. They're still thick here. So this is this was the smallest PCB version possible, I think, from the print circuit manufacturers. It's still very hard to get them in. Or could it be that they're too wide? Yeah, I think they're too wide. I have to cut a small piece of the corners. Carefully, of course. It's one. I'm making a mess of it here. Anyway, it's two. Yeah, 0.6 millimeters. It's still hard to get them in. If you need something to push them in, I don't know. Yeah. We'll use something else then. And I have to be careful with the other side of the connector because I have the feeling that they breaking it. If it could break, maybe I should use some tape to hold the other side down to the board. Because if they break, I have more work. I don't like that. They're already almost breaking. So let's do that first. So that's a couple of things that you have to pay attention to, otherwise you will end up with more work. It reminds me of the low profile keyboards. I have a couple of them in my storage, but those have ribbon cable connectors as well, and oh man, these are so pain in the ass. It's still too wide, I think. Maybe the other one first. Oh. Ah, man, come on. And maybe it depends on the kind of connectors you have in your ZX Spectrum. Or this side goes in, but as I can tell you for sure that it is still about too wide. It seems. Mark, do you have any experience with that? remembered of that event for the rest of my life. But I will be working on your machines soon, Mark. I hope. I'm not lying because it's just so busy. Usually it would be first come first serve, of course. But the issue is that it's hard to, when you have 20 priorities, to choose between 20 highest priorities. It's almost impossible. Okay, that one is in. It's not the easiest this, but it does get in after a while. Yes. Oh man, sorry. Oh, it's because I cut it, so there's not much left here. Sorry, I was hammering on my connector for a second. Okay, it's very different. This is the least I can say about it. Okay, but it's closed. Man, it was a lot of work. More stroke bubbles, yes. Well, I think Mark can get stroke bubbles himself. But I will send one mini stroke bubble, of course, for free. Anyway, let's plug it in again and see if it works. Oh, I've got this modified cable I made last week. I think I make these cables like this from time to time because can I show you? Yeah, this is a combined cable. It's mono and it's stereo. Where's the other side? This is mono. But it's not only a cable. You got a couple of resistors in here in this plug, so you can use the mono cable when you have mono output and use a stereo if you have stereo output, and you still get stereo sound that way. And this is the cable with the toast rack connector and the composite video connector, which is also the same cable as you can see here. And it's just very handy if you have all kinds of different computers all the time. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's see what works. Yeah! Oh wow! Woo! Oh wow! It's different, but you can hear it clicking. I will throw down the volume because I can just put out the plug, of course, as well. But let's do this first. Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Okay, let me try to type something fast. Okay, my name is. Can you read it? Or you can. You can. Sorry. This is better, I think. Is it? I'm not sure if you can read this. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Peter. I didn't know you're from the Bahamas. Okay, nice. No, it's not an acorn owl. It's just a thrifting owl. You know, it's retro. Where was I? I'm typing blind because I cannot see what I'm typing. Now I can see. I live in the Netherlands. There was a typo, I think. Was it? Oh. I still think it's okay. I think it types better than original keyboard, but it's the travel is not that much. So you don't have to press the key that much as with an original keyboard, and that might be a good thing, of course. Okay, I will try to type something in blindly. Okay, it's not perfect, but of course the ZX Spectrum is not the most, not the fastest basic, so. But I think everything is working. Yeah, it just works. That's a good thing. So, Hans, these should be over at the Selma Retro, but they're not available when I looked 2 weeks ago. Maybe they are in the meantime, I'm not sure. If they're not, then you could ask Peter, but he's at the Bahamas at the moment, so. Peter also has the LED versions of, not this one, but the version for the rubber case ZX Spectrum available. But this does work just fine, if you ask me. I wonder if I should use this as my daily driver. I'm not a how do you call it? I'm not disappointed at all. I just think this is a great solution of the guy. As you may know, I think I've told it a month ago in the show. I'm also working on RGB, an RGB interface with oh man, I forgot his name. Sorry for that. Anyway, I'm working with someone else on an RGB interface, and we want to use that as well for a keyboard, tactile keyboard, but mostly for the rubber case static spectrums, because you can use the fluorescent key mats with those, so that the lights of the LEDs will come through. And there's not much use with the plus case, of course, using RGB LEDs underneath your keyboard. But I think it will be very cool if you can program RGB LEDs on your ZX Spectrum from your ZX Spectrum, don't you think? And I'm even working on, or trying to work on, when I find time, which I don't have, doing something similar, but without a microcontroller. So he's doing it with a microcontroller, and I'm just trying to use static RAM and firing CPLD to push the contents of the static RAM to a LED strip that is connected. That's what I'm trying to do, but I don't have enough time for it yet. But I may have in the future, near future, I'm not sure. We have to check. But anyway, this just works nice. So I think it has my approval if I'm an authority of any kind. Yeah, I like this. But again, you have to be very careful with the bands of all the places where the keys are, and I don't think it's something that you can get out and use on another machine very easily. So you have to be very careful with that. But I don't think there's really another solution. But maybe only you could think that these ribbon cables that are used with this specific kit, these are the hard ribbon cables, so they stay in the shape that you bend them. And of course the ribbon cables, for example, used for hard drives in the past, or for floppy drives, those are the flexible ones, and maybe those were better for this purpose. I'm not sure. And I can't tell, Mark, if this will type better than the ZX Spectrum Next, because they're using kind of a laptop keyboard, kind of keyboard with a membrane underneath, and I think that will work very well as well, because I think using a keyboard, laptop-like keys with a short travel will be better than a default ZX Spectrum keyboard, because you don't have to travel of what is it standard travel? I think 6 or 7 millimeters or something. And I think any keyboard will work better than the ZX Spectrum keyboard. But anyway, that's what most people that are not used to ZX Spectrums complain about the most, that it types like shit. But anyway, so I think it's nice. I hope you like this small demo here. I'm not going to do more now, because I think I will assemble it in my development machine here. And we'll use it for next month, and maybe we can talk about it some more in the future. I think that would be a good thing. Alright, so enough about that. So when the guy is back on Sell My Retro, just search on Sell My Retro for a tactile keyboard maybe. And the guy who sells them has the username Pokemon, I think. So if you like Pokemon, there's another reason to visit Sell My Retro then. Okay, next week well, maybe can just cover it right now. Oh, yeah. I did it 2 days ago. I posted on Facebook an idea I had to create a version of the DivMC and Enjoy Pro version, but in the looks of an interface 2, so with the 2 joystick ports at the left and the vertical SD card slot. That's what I'm thinking about. And I have no idea what issues I will encounter. I have a couple of ideas that maybe one of them, the full-size SD card slots may be too big for a case that still be as high as the rubber ZX Spectrum. I have to check that. Another thing is that I never want to get in trouble with designing something that will start people like Comcast or maybe Sir Clive Sinclair himself wonder about suing me for copying designs from the past. I don't want to do that, so I might make an interface that will look like an interface 2, but I don't want to copy it exactly to stay out of trouble. It's just that I think it's the interface 2 has a very clever design. It looks very nice when it sits on the back of an original ZX Spectrum with a rubber case. And I think the DivMC Enjoy versions I make nowadays with the two joystick ports will really look nice in such a case. So we'll see about that. New boards are on the way from C Technology. I ordered them from in China with one of the most respectable PCB manufacturing companies. And one of them is the Pro Mini, the new Pro interface, which is the let me click on the right button here. The right one is the current Pro 1 interface, so the flat one, the horizontal one, some may call it, and the left one is the new Mini. So we have the current Mini. Oh, this is the current Mini, I think. Oh wait, this is an old. Sorry, this is an old photo. So this is not the one I'm referring to. Anyway, I've ordered I've designed and ordered boards for a new Mini with the same features as the Pro 1 interface, except for the joystick ports. But it will have auto detection of the ZX Spectrum model, and it will be clock independent, so it will work on much more ZX Spectrums without issues than the current Mini does, which is also a fine interface, but sometimes gives some issues with, for example, the Spanish Infrastructure ZX Spectrums. Also, I'm developing, that's the middle one here, I'm developing a version. Oh, you can't see my mouse, that's odd. Alright, the middle one is the one I'm also working on with one joystick port. I was trying to push 2 joystick ports on this, but I don't think it's practical because it will not fit in the case well in any way. So I think we'll just do 1 joystick port, but again with all the Pro features. So hence I call it the Pro Mini instead of the Mini. So there will be 3 versions. Let me just switch to my other camera. There will be 3 versions. The Mini Lite, sorry, the Pro Mini Lite. It's a long name, I know. So it's the Pro version, but it's still Mini. And the Lite version doesn't come with the joystick port and does not come with the through port edge connector. The normal Mini will come with the joystick port, and I think it will also have the throughput edge connector. We'll need to find a way of doing that. I'm not sure yet, I have to check. And there will be a deluxe version of the Mini, which will be a vertical version of the DivMC, like the Mini, but with the joystick port and with the case. So that's what I'm thinking of. And so maybe also the interface 1 look alike. But I'm not saying that anymore. This was the last time because I don't want to get in trouble. So I just made clear. Anyway, there are some more updates like the RGB LED interface that will come, which I think is one of the best products that will come to life this year. I think it will be so unbelievably cool being able to program RGB LEDs from your ZX Spectrum. So one way of using them, for example, is by using a LED keyboard, so it will look cool underneath your fingers. But with a plus case, for example, like this one, maybe it's very cool to have a LED strip surrounding the case. So I was thinking about a LED strip that goes all the way around the case, and I don't see any problems with that, except of course for the edge printer and that sort of thing, but I have to check what options we have. But I think it will look nice if you have a glow in any color you want, because with RGB 8 bits per color, that's what the RGB LEDs support. You can get up to 16 million colors, and that's no lie, it's just possible. I think it will be cool. I was thinking of that it's being similar to ByteDelight, but it's not true, of course, because ByteDelight from Philips glows in the same colors as the thing, the movie or the TV show you are watching. So it won't be ByteDelight, but you can program the colors of your LEDs with your ZX Spectrum itself. I think that will be very nice. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm working on several other projects, and I even want to learn more development things like Atmel EVRs, AVRs, and other microcontrollers. Maybe start learning about FPGAs, and I still have to do development for my administration. So there's lots of things I need to do, and that's the reason why I made some products unavailable, to create more time for that. Because I don't want to have a big company, I just want to do this for my living, for my family, and don't want to just keep people busy. I want to do this myself, you know. No idea if, how realistic it is for the future, we'll see. But at this moment it looks like it's way more than, it's way enough. That's just what I'm thinking. So I'm doing well, and I hope you like what I'm doing and the products I make and offer. I got to end the show with, I got an email from Imre Gyakli from Hungary, who developed the ZX HD interface with me and was present at the Spectrum 35 event 2 years ago. So he already moved, so he was in the middle of a move during the last weeks, months really. So he already moved to his new apartment with his family with 5 kids, and he's now unpacking boxes, and he got plenty of stuff to do, like some reconstruction things, and so he has a full-time job at a university. So I'm not sure when he's able to get developing again for the ZX Spectrum. We have to see that, but we still want to work on updates for the ZX HD, like audio over HDMI. We have to check what options we have, but at the moment Imre is still working on his house and for his family and at the university, so he's got his hands full at the moment, and we just have to wait. That's the only thing I can say. I'm sorry for that. I asked him for a photo in his new apartment. He hasn't responded yet, so I think he's very busy. But when I have the photo, and I will show you who Imre is and what his new house looks like, because I hope he will allow me to share a photo of him with you guys, because he's not on Facebook himself, so you cannot see him there. But I think it's cool to see one of those developers in person on a photo or something. Anyway, that's for this week. If you have any comments about the new set, like the lights flashing on and off, I think I have to swap the sensors out with some more intelligent stuff that I can just say to no, please stay on for the couple of next hours or something. If you have any other comments, like audio quality, or maybe the in between videos are too long, the scene switches, then please let me know. I'm really interested in your suggestions for improvements. Please subscribe to this channel and like the video, please, because you really help me out, and I want to do this every week and even make more videos about several topics, because I think it's a cool way of staying in contact with you guys and with the community, because there are not many of these places that you can chat with everyone live. So yeah, well now I wonder how what your office looks like, Christopher. So please contact me on Facebook and we can share our photos. Anyway, I had some cool good time tonight. So I hope you had as well. I still have to make a new commercial video for the next Spectrum shop, but you can find all the links in the description of this stream and in the video that will be live in an hour. All the links to the even the Netflix movie and other things. If you are not a Netflix subscriber, then you can just click on the link and most probably you will get asked for a subscription. It's really easy to create an account and a subscription. If you don't want to keep it, then you can just end it in the next month. So it won't cost you much. I think just €10 something, or what is it, £10? I'm not sure what the price in the UK is. But it's an awesome movie, of course. So I had a good time. I hope you had a good time as well. I will see you next week. And in the meantime, if you know any place for me to find a cool retro CRT TV instead of this Samsung, please let me know, because I'm looking for one. But for now, I'll end the show, and shall I run the intro again? Maybe? To end the show with? I don't know. Do you want me to run the intro? Just push a button. It's really cool, you know. This is a macro deck. And it's really, really cool to have something like this for free and working quite well with OBS. Although it's quite some work to get it working completely. But anyway, shall I run the intro again or not? Say yes or no. Yes or no. Yes, 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 yes. Nothing. It's quiet. It's so quiet. I don't think people want to say no, so I guess. Alright, EDS has come. I just have to wait for, what is it, 40 seconds or something. Okay, so see you guys, bye! We're on the minority, Christopher, so it's a yes. Reload this if you want to, by the way. Disconnected user expecting like moving and bouncing. You can just load this. So, download it. Do it. Do it now.